This week from the internet, this is not the Star Wars hotel you're looking for. Disney drops a trailer for their highly anticipated Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, and fan reaction is not super positive. We're into the final hours for two of Hasbro's HasLab projects. We'll either pass the finish line, or will Cookie Monster finally have some company in purgatory? Plus, we examine the dystopian world of Jingle All the Way and search for the best and worst Arnold toys of all time in a new segment we're calling Make a Bid or That's So Mid. Hallelujah, holy shit, where's the Tylenol? It's the Reluctant Adult Podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Reluctant Adult Podcast. My name is Paul, and I am joined, as always, by the man who always remembers to smash that subscribe button, Bill.
And I smash it hard. Hi, everybody.
Smash that subscribe button, and then click the little bell, I guess, so that it alerts you when there's new content. All these hoops. Jump through all the hoops. Make sure you're following us on all the social media channels. We actually had a lot of good interaction with the fans this week. I want to give a shout out to Billy on Twitter, who professed his love for us. He listens at work, so that's 2 thumbs up to Billy and everyone else that we talked to on YouTube. Really starting to bring that community together. Really happy with how things are going. We're going to keep making content every week. We got some new ideas lined up. We have our best toys of the year, our annual tradition. We got to start working on that.
Yes.
Put that out before New Year's. That's where all this video stuff started. So Bill, how was your week?
My short week since we last spoke.
Your short week. Yes.
Uneventful.
All right, very good.
Yeah. I got my second PS5 without any issue.
Oh my God. We haven't talked about it on the show, but you've had quite the ordeal with this PS5.
Yes.
So we like to start off these shows hot. We like to do the five main stories of the week in 5 minutes. So I'm going to set that timer. In our first story this week, the Rancor and G.I. Joe HasLab projects. When the show comes out, there'll just be scant hours left before these HasLabs end, and not currently looking super good as of this recording.
No.
Forget about those stretch goals.
Sitting above 5,000. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'll
be quite the Hail Mary for any of those.
I do think if it gets funded, maybe a deluge of people will just start funding it, because that's sort of how these work. But not looking great. Those stretch goal announcements, especially for the Rancor, didn't do it any favors. It actually cost them hundreds of backers. I think they're back to even from where they were before. They are
right before the paint application preview and the other 2 remaining tiers. I think they're just at the break-even point.
So it'll be interesting to see.
So Rancor Keeper is not helping them out one bit.
No, we're going to talk about him a little bit more, but we got to get to our next story. One HasLab that is doing well is the Proton Pack. It is fully funded. It is as of this recording inching closer to 13,000, and that next tier, which is the probably the least exciting tier, at least in my mind, the notebook, and then the stickers that are just like from the Gumball Machine stickers, not even anything that will go on the Proton Pack.
Give them to the kids.
Yeah, stickers for the kids, balloons for the kids, thermal mug for the adults.
There you go. You go.
They actually should have done that. Maybe there were reasons you can't sell balloons.
That would have been good.
But, that would have been some nice theming. Although I feel like maybe Ghostbusters 2 is sort of being vanquished from continuity. Like it was, especially some of the things from the Afterlife movie makes me think that we're not really supposed to remember Ghostbusters 2 so much.
We can get into that a little bit, but you're right.
We'll talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah.
Next story. Trailer drop today, or a teaser trailer for Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
We have nothing to say about this. I got nothing. Part 1 was enough. It was like, okay, so it's a part 1, so there's going to be a part 2.
Right.
So are they going to keep making these movies, or
I guess so. I don't know. It did well enough, I guess. It got so like I saw it in theaters and it was fine. It was good.
Yeah,
but
it was fine.
The way people talked it up, I think I was expecting a lot more. I don't know.
Right. It was different. It was different enough at the time. Yeah.
But now all of the Spider-Man movies have to deal with these multiverse things. So is it even going to feel as unique as the first one did?
Well, no, I don't know. Like, why aren't they done hyping the one that's coming out in 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's a good point. Why start promoting something that's not coming out for a year?
Unless it ties into it directly. Maybe there's some tie into it.
Maybe we can get that might be. We can get into that a little bit more. All right. So today or earlier this week, Disney dropped a trailer for the new Star Wars hotel called the Galactic Star Cruiser. It did not go over too well with fans. Disney actually pulled the trailer down from the official YouTube channel, so you have to search out a copy of it. I sent it to you. What were your thoughts on this $5,000 experience?
Looks cheap as hell.
And that's the commercial. You would, they could enhance it with CGI if they wanted to, and that's what they put out.
Right, so like the walkways like between like rooms would look like just like a sterile corridor. They had this random sterile Twi'lek singing that was very reminiscent to Fifth Element.
Yes.
Just didn't look great. They had the lightsaber practice where you just like block a light that comes out of the wall. They had some behind the scenes stuff for it, and I was like, it's not worth it.
We have a lot more. We have a lot more to say about the Galactic Star Cruiser, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Our fifth and final story this week, Super 7 teased an announcement for Animaniacs Ultimates, I imagine. So so like growing up, I always wanted toys for every cartoon that I liked, and there were no Animaniac toys. So I think this is a property.
Bendems. I think you had Bendies. You must have had Bendies.
I never counted the Bendems as actual.
No, you wouldn't. But that's what they offered.
Did.
That's what they offered.
That was never good enough for me. So like I think back and I know Animaniacs has been rebooted. Is it currently airing the new episodes? Obviously, I have not watched.
I believe it is. Yeah. I believe it is.
So Super 7 not slowing down. They actually do have some products about to hit. They have the major wrestling figure podcast figures. They have shipped. Some people have them.
Yep.
Not like people that bought them, but like people that are in the shipping companies over in China.
Oh yeah, so, sure. I think they also dropped their Series 4 of the TMNT classics as well. Oh yeah,
those are coming.
Yeah, I think those are shipping too.
All right, that's the end of our 5 minutes. So we're gonna talk now. Who's in Series 4?
I have no idea.
Is that the one with that starts the variants with the turtles, like Samurai Leo?
It might. Yeah.
I was at Walmart tonight, and they had one Playmates Classics or Retro, whatever they're calling them, Leo on the shelf on the pegs.
Oh, I don't have Leo yet.
Oh, so I was trying to remember. I got two of them, and I think I definitely got Raph, and I think Leo was the other one.
Okay, you couldn't find Donatello for the longest time.
I couldn't find Donatello. I feel like I only have two of them, so I must not have Michelangelo also. But I don't know. That doesn't.
I have Michelangelo.
Oh. You do have him.
And Raphael. I found just two on the shelf at a Walmart. Earlier in the week, and the cards were in great condition. I was very surprised. So that's normally when you see just two of something or even one of something, it's like, oh, it's just damaged beyond anything. But these were great. Right.
This Walmart's funny because it's one of the only super Walmarts that I go to. So it's the only one that has the collector section, which I thought they got rid of, but they actually moved it to like the furthest section of electronics away from toys. So it's like, unless you're walking from the other direction, you wouldn't even know it's there. But when I was there last time, they had when I did the toy hunt video, the Collector Crush commemorative toy hunt video.
Yes,
they had
the highest viewed video on our
getting
YouTube
a lot
channel.
Of hits. People accusing us correctly of clickbait with our thumbnail, but that's okay. That's how YouTube works. Have you met YouTube? Do you know how it works?
Right.
The content's there though. Don't let the
it is.
clickbait.
Enjoy the toy hunt. There's variety in that toy hunt.
Anyway, that Walmart had one of the Fantastic Four Marvel Legends figures, the one of the villains.
Okay.
But tonight I found Johnny Storm and Sue Storm just like on a weird cart, like a put away cart or something at the end of an aisle. So
really?
I don't know if people are hiding stuff or what's going on at this location, but keep your eyes peeled.
I've seen most of them. I've seen most of those. I feel like they're going to be much like the Eternals figures, and they'll be destined for clearance.
I don't think it'll be that bad. I don't think it'll be.
It won't be as bad. I don't think it'll be as bad, but we'll definitely see some lower priced Sue Storm. I don't
think stores ordered quite as many as Target ordered the Eternals for some reason.
Target cases of this.
Target
solid
making
cases.
Very strange decisions. Like they had an exclusive from that Shang-Chi movie.
Yes, the Aquafina figure.
The Aquafina figure.
Katie.
And, just right off the bat, not an exciting figure. Companies always talking about how female figures don't sell well. Why have an exclusive get full cases of this figure that you like? If everything you say is true, it's not going to sell well.
Of course. It's got that creature though, so maybe they were banking.
Oh, did it have the creature? Was it hidden? Was it hidden in the box? I didn't even notice it.
I don't believe so. I think it was prominent. The little winged butt creature or whatever it was. That didn't have a face. That's
so funny. Of all the times I saw that figure, I never even noticed it came with the creature pack in.
With that.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
That figure all those figures did eventually disappear. So I don't know if Target shipped those off to Goodwill as they tend to do, or people actually bought them
near you.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. I would buy them. I buy them now. Once I saw the movie, we never talked about Shang-Chi. I thought that was one of the better Marvel movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
You didn't like it as much.
I didn't.
Weren't you like sleepy when you saw it?
I was, like most things. I'm sleepy all the time, but I don't know. I think it takes that fantasy element, and it doesn't seem too grounded.
Yeah.
Like it takes you out of like New York and brings you into this interdimensional like land where dragons exist. And then it's all just like CGI backgrounds and things. And granted, everything's fake in these Marvel movies, but there was something about this one. I think also when I did watch it, Disney had put it up on like 4K.
Yeah.
And my TV isn't set up for 4K.
Right.
So it just looked odd.
Well, you didn't have to.
Not 4K. It was in IMAX. So the clarity was. Yeah, it was in IMAX.
I thought the only thing that IMAX does is instead of it looking widescreen, it almost makes it like 3x4. Like it makes it like a square or taller than it is wide.
I believe it's taller. I think there's more of an image to be seen on both the lower end and upper end of the image.
Yeah, but you didn't have to watch it in that format.
I had to.
We know you didn't. No way. It's not like the Justice League movie where Zack Snyder was like, "This is my vision for this film to be seen like this." I don't think he sounds like that. I'm not sure what that accent.
Fair enough. He sounds like a very bad Batman. Post laryngitis, Paul.
That's right. What if my voice just permanently had that like?
I miss being Batman. Remember when I was Batman?
I'm telling you, that was probably the pinnacle of comic book movies in our
that should have worked. That should have gotten us 2 tickets to San Diego Comic-Con.
Back when we wanted to go. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I don't remember if they showed who won that or not. Was that through G4?
It might have been.
Yeah. G4 is back. Did you know that?
You've mentioned it a couple times.
Back, Jack. One of the goals I have for the show is to become the action figure correspondent for G4.
Oh, sure.
Now we throw it to Paul over in Florida.
You should pitch this to Miranda, and then you'll get both of you. Just be like, there you go. Both of us can be the G4 correspondents.
No, I don't
want her.
Ditch
the other guy.
I don't want her blocking my star power. They can't put her on TV. Come on.
The local news station, to bring it back to the Galactic Star Cruiser, they ran a Boston's biggest Star Wars fan competition over the last couple weeks. I forgot to enter in time, but the guy that won clearly should have been the winner, so it's fine.
What makes him?
He had a daughter named Annika.
That's awful. Annika.
Annika.
That's terrible.
It's like, oh, if it's a boy, can I name him Anakin? Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Oh, it's a girl. I don't have to name him Anakin. Oh, did I mention we're naming her Annika?
I mean, so he couldn't do Leia or Padme or Chewbacca.
I think he had dogs named Luke and Leia.
Get out of here!
Or something like
he
that.
He did not plan ahead.
It's all written up on this radio station.
Why did they do this? What was the prize?
The prize was a trip to the Galactic Star Cruiser.
Oh, fancy.
Yes. Quite the prize.
I wonder if this is like a thing that a bunch of markets did, because I didn't see that here.
It could have. I mean, this was Boston's biggest, so he was a Massachusetts native. So sure. I think they also.
Yeah.
I don't know. He had a picture of him dressed like the Mandalorian next to a DeLorean, which was kind of interesting.
Because it rhymes.
It does. Mandalorian.
What? Remember there was that cartoon on Adult Swim with Boba Fett and his vet or something? I'm Boba Fett.
Oh, that was
I'm a vet.
Oh, that was just MC Chris from HasLab 2021.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had that song. Fett's Vet.
That's Vet, yeah.
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 That was big back in, God, when the heck did...
That's like when we were watching...
2005, 2006. I had a girlfriend at the time who was like, I love this song. And I was like, you've ruined this for me.
I was going to say, I thought it was even earlier, like we were in high school watching it.
It could have been. And maybe I was just watching it later than I should have been. But I clearly remember seeing it in 2005.
I'm going to quickly...
I'm Boba the Fett.
2006.
What, MC so Chris? Okay, there we go. Chill in deep space. That's a fun song. Friend,
MC Chris, is he still something? Do we still know him from anywhere?
I don't know. He did the voice on one of the HasLab 2021 characters. I forget which one it was.
Is MC like his initials, or is he a master of ceremony?
I don't know. I don't know much
Christopher
about him.
Ward, better known as MC Chris.
Okay.
He's an improvisational comedian and writer.
Oh.
Fun.
Yeah.
So like, what did you have to do to enter? Did he make a video to enter to show that he...
No, there was no video. He literally contest? He sent it. Pretty much. He sent in a photo of himself, and then he kind of sent like his story.
Oh, okay.
So he touched base on his animals that were named Luke and Leia. He touched base on his daughter named Annika.
Did they fact check any of this? Because they asked for birth
certificates. It's a good question. You could make up whatever you want.
That almost sounds like, bro, I'm going to do the stupidest thing. I'm going to write the stupidest stuff. I bet they'll believe me. Yeah. Yeah, I named my kid Annika.
Annika.
What if it turns out Annika is like a family name and has nothing to do with seeming like Anakin?
True. Very true.
That poor child. I hope they enjoy their vacation. I hope they enjoy the Galactic Star Cruiser. hope they enjoy paying taxes on the $5,000 value of that.
Mm-hmm. Very true. You got to factor into that.
All right. Let's get into this so that we have some energy before we get sleepy. I watched Jingle All the Way last night. You're familiar with this movie, right?
I am. I didn't watch it. I thought about preparing myself and watching it, but I know most
of it. You've seen it before, right?
Oh, of course I've seen it before. Who hasn't?
If you haven't seen it before, this is the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie with Turbo Man, this doll. And basically the story is a play on, the real life events like with Tickle Me Elmo, Cabbage Patch Kids, Power Rangers, where there's just this, last minute purge, basically people trying to get these toys for their kids for Christmas, and there's just not enough product to go around.
I looked into it. It's based off of the true the true experience of director Chris Columbus trying to find a Buzz Lightyear figure for his kid.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, so I looked that up.
This movie is just it's a dystopian version of the world, and it's not too far off from reality, but every character is just so miserable. Like Arnold's character, Howard, he's like like every character in a movie then was like an ad executive. So I think he is like some sort of business executive, and he's too busy with his job and he forgets to buy a doll.
Yeah, it's like Robin Williams and Hook. It's like Robin Williams and Hook. Yeah. Come to my kid's baseball game. No, I'll send somebody.
Right. He's too busy. So then he doesn't get the doll, but then like the kid like lays the guilt on him, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta get this stupid doll." But then he doesn't want to tell
by Jake Lloyd.
Jake Lloyd, and they must have filmed this like right around the same time as Star Wars because he looks. Exactly
it was right before. Yeah, he did. Yeah. He did not get. I think it was probably 2 years before.
Yeah,
they wrapped because this was 96.
But Star Wars didn't come out until later.
99.
All that post production. Yeah.
Yes.
So now Arnold is unaware of how difficult this task is going to be.
Of course,
get this because he's not tuned in. To actually
right. Well, he's too busy. He's too busy.
He hasn't been listening to the news. Everyone else is completely aware of how hard it is to find this toy, but he's just like, I'm gonna go to the toy store at 9 a.m. and I'll just pick it up. So he goes to the toy store, and then basically Chris Parnell and the other guy just laugh at him.
They do.
They're like, you won. And there's like a mob everybody of people
laughs.
There, but like there's a mob of people there.
Booster. They're all getting boosters.
Nobody's getting booster. Nobody wants booster.
No, the woman who's like, oh, they want to get a Turbo Man. She's holding a booster.
Yeah. Well, you got to take what you can get, I guess.
So
they got then he encounters Sinbad, who's a mailman, but not for the post office, like some fake. they couldn't use the post office.
Right. No, of course not.
No. So then they become the odd couple, and like they're both looking for this doll. Do we ever meet Sinbad's kid? I don't feel like we do.
I don't. No, we don't.
No,
he's probably just some flipper who's saying that he's got a kid.
That's what I thought. Like he didn't. He didn't really have a kid, or there was some backstory.
No, he just wants to flip it. He just wants to flip it.
He just wants to flip. He hates his job. He just wants to.
Of course, he's not making. He's not making that Arnold money. He's making his fake postal worker money that he's like dressed up as. I don't know.
Now Arnold didn't bat an eye at paying the Santa ring. What was it, like $200 for this toy?
It was a knockoff, though, right?
Well, okay, but he didn't know that at the time.
Yeah,
he was going to drop $200. It's whatever. He's a fancy executive. Money is no issue to him. Why not just like there? I'm sure eBay existed at that point. Like, are you so removed from how the world works that you can't just like? If you're willing to spend the money,
I think it was in its beta. If you're talking 96, I mean, I think eBay was 95, and people were like, online auction site. What?
Okay, fair enough.
I'll go to a real auction. Thank you very much, sir.
Maybe this is the only way.
I'll go to a toy show.
I'll go to a toy show. Yeah,
I'll go to a toy show.
Let me check Tomart's guide and see how much this is worth. So he goes on this journey to try to track one down, and someone's like, oh, I heard that this toy store is gonna get him. So he goes to that toy store, and then like the manager of the toy store is like, because everybody wants these, we've doubled the price. Like all this crazy stuff. Like everybody is just terrible in this movie.
But it's so true to like what's going on in the world right now with toys. It's like, gotta beat everybody to it.
Well, I mean, so I guess
Phil Hartman's trying to get with his wife, but not quite get with his wife.
That was weird. So it's like he was like being like super dad, except to someone else's family. so bizarre. And it's like, come on, Phil Hartman. She's married to Arnold Schwarzenegger. You really think you got a shot with her? What is going on here? You are.
He's there for her, though. He's 90s Phil Hartman. You might remember him from some movies as.
I like at the end where Arnold is dressed as Turbo Man, and then his wife is like, oh, like she wasn't attracted to him as Arnold Schwarzenegger, but he puts on the red latex, and she's like, oh, I didn't realize you had such big muscles. It's like, really?
The gentleman that designed the Power Ranger toys, I believe, designed the Turbo Man figure.
Mm-hmm. Well,
and they base the rest of it around it.
I always hate in movies where they have to make a unique toy and it just looks like crap.
Sure.
It's
fun to watch that movie, especially the Toy Store scenes, because you get a little slice of what was around back in mid 90s.
Saw a lot of X-Men.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think Dinosaur Dracula has done a shot by shot.
Oh, really?
Canvassing of what you can find
Toy
in
Store
that movie. So
eventually,
yeah.
Eventually, it's like they want to give away this very unique Turbo Man, right?
It's at the parade. So this is the craziest part. So Arnold somehow gets backstage for the Macy's Day Parade or whatever, and they're gonna have a live action Turbo Man, and the director is like, "Are you the guy?" And Arnold's like, "Blah blah blah blah," and he can't get his words out. So they just start stripping him down and dressing him in the Turbo Man clothes,
right?
And then they're like, "Yeah, the last guy got maimed during rehearsal, but don't worry, it's gonna be fine. It's all this danger." It's like they dress him, and then all of the things work in reality. He has a jetpack that actually flies him around the city.
Right, of course.
I think that's a little bit better than the toy. We'll just keep that.
Of course, yeah. So, how are they going to track that?
Yeah. So and then he's on the float, and then there's a part where this special version of the toy pops up. And is it much bigger, this special version? It looked huge. I didn't think the toy was presented as being
no idea
over 18 inches tall.
Garbage toy,
Dollar Tree looking thing.
Yeah.
So it's okay, now you got to present this toy to a kid, and oh, thank God he spots his kid in the crowd.
Yes.
And he's
he name drops him and everything.
Right.
Does he name drop him?
He does.
I know who you are.
Because the kid next to him is oh, he's looking at me. And Jake Lloyd's no, he's looking at me. And then you see the audio tech turn the volume up, and he's like, Jake Lloyd, or whatever the kid's name is.
Get up here.
But they gave him a little modification of his voice, modulation. So it's oh, they don't know it's him because that accent is really hidden by the little,
of course,
the little reverb they put on his voice. So they all get together, and then Jake Lloyd ends up saying I don't need the toy, and he gives it to Sinbad, and then Sinbad's assumed
Sinbad dresses up as Booster, right?
No, as the villain. The villain.
Oh yeah, the villain.
So it's it
Who's
really
Booster,
comes together. Then? He was just
is
that.
Clint Howard?
Yes.
Clint Howard the Booster? Okay, Clint Howard, Ron Howard's brother.
I think that's right. He's the voice guy. He's very recognizable for his voice. Yeah. So then, so Sinbad dressed he attacks the actor. You see the actor for a second, and he pulls him off like a cartoon. And then Sinbad, because this is a good plan, you're going to dress as the villain and then take it. This is right. You guys are going to jail. Oh, that's something else we didn't mention. There are a lot of scenes where they encounter the police and they should have been arrested, but they pull hijinks and get out of it.
Sure.
Sinbad has a mail bomb that he uses, and then the cop detonates it because he doesn't think it's real.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's lots of
the kind of movie that can't be made in this day and age.
I want to see them make a hard R version of this movie. Real.
They made a second one with Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah, there's a Jingle All the Way too.
Does he dress as Turbo Man?
That's what we should be talking about is Jingle All the Way too.
I guess see what this looks like. Is he dressed up as Turbo Man?
I don't know what he's dressed up like.
Turbo Man. I think it just shows him dressed as Santa everywhere. Is Turbo Man not even in it? This is so stupid. I mean, obviously it's stupid.
Is Jake Lloyd not even in this?
I think Jake Lloyd was in jail at this point. No, it's that it's that kid that I don't know what happened to him. I think he has dwarfism or something. He looks very small. You would know him. Oh, but you know who is in this movie? WWE superstar Santino Marella.
Wow.
He's the guy that would do the Cobra, and he had a fake Italian accent even though he's from Canada.
Oh.
The
more you know.
I'm going to add that to my queue. I don't know where that's available to watch. Yeah. So it all ends up fine. I think Phil Hartman, he gets scared because he's scared of him now that he's dressed as Turbo Man, but he wasn't scared of him as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
Yeah. And then I guess it ends happy. I don't really remember the end. I think I turned it off.
What are you trying to coin for Olafet? I'm Olafet tonight. Look at
your outfit?
And my outfit, and my nice goatee, and my beard. Look at me.
Did Boba Fett have a beard?
No, but Olafet did.
Who's Olafet? What are you talking about?
You remember Timothy Olyphant wanted.
Oh,
yeah,
Olafet. I understand what you're saying now.
Now you get it.
I get it. Oh, I do sort of see it. Yeah,
you see it.
I do see it.
There we go.
Timothy Olyphant was the one that was on The Office for a couple episodes.
He was their traveling salesman.
Who's the guy that looks just like Timothy Olyphant? Josh Duhamel? Okay.
Josh Duhamel.
Not that any of that matters. So, This is all to say that watching Jingle All the Way made me start thinking about Arnold Schwarzenegger toys. And I wanted us to talk about them and the best and the worst of all time. So this segment I'm coining. What did I call it? I already forgot what I called it. Where is it? I wrote it down.
Or to mid?
It's like, damn it. What did I call it? I wrote it down.
Wow.
Didn't I?
You wrote it down for your opening.
That's right. It's in the text. It says, make a bid or that's so mid. And mid is like an insult. I don't know if that's like
I have no idea.
That means that's like an opinion that you disagree with. So I sent you a list of eBay auctions, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna search. We're gonna go one by one, and we're gonna talk about the figure and whether it's something that we bid on or something that we would not bid on. So let's go to the first one. Where are we? This is Movie Maniacs from McFarlane. This is Movie Maniacs 4. And this is one that you picked. The
Series 4.
Series 4. All right.
Okay, so there's a funny story behind this one.
Mm-hmm.
So originally, the sculpt looked a lot like Arnold, but they didn't have the rights yet.
Ooh.
So they obliterated his face more.
Nice.
And that's why it isn't the same battle damage as it was when it was first revealed.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not consistent with the movie. So I own this figure. Mm-hmm. I really liked it because at the time there were really no high-end, quote unquote, Terminator figures. You're coming off the Kenner stuff. So
this was the first. So this was like before they were making tons of Arnold stuff. This was like they're dipping their toe into Arnold.
Dipping their toe. You had highly detailed, true to form action figures based off of the property.
Mm-hmm.
So this came alongside the T-1000.
Mm-hmm.
The T-1000, they did get Robert Patrick's likeness. So this is a bid. This is a bid for me.
Okay, so currently this auction is only at $1.25. So that's
what's that shipping at? $10.35? Are people bidding?
I got $11.85 over here, but it's expedited. So
okay.
So you get that pretty quick. All right, let's go to your second one. This is the Power Arm Terminator from.
Are these all mine?
No, I got mine are at the bottom though, so I'm trying to make it easy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Do you have the list in front of you? I sent you.
I'm clicking through. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so this is from the Kenner Terminator 2 line.
Yes.
This is another one where his face is half off. Not that. Did they do any that his whole face was there? I think they did.
A couple. There was a battle damage one where the front just completely popped off. I think that was one of my choices as well. This one I really liked just because in the Kenner line, this was probably the closest you would get to the actual Terminator in the film.
The costume, yeah.
In my opinion, the costume, yeah.
He had that purple shirt. That classic purple shirt.
That classic purple shirt that he got from the biker bar.
That is one of the funny things about these early 90s or the 90s lines. It's like there was never a definitive figure. It's always like think of like the Beetlejuice line. Like one figure had the correct suit, but then the head was all stupid, and then there was another one that had the pinstripe.
Of course.
Yeah. So it's like you had to buy multiple and mix and match, and like there was never just like the perfect figure. Yeah.
So this one came with the battle damaged arm that had a spike that would come through it. He was geared up, and this was actually one of the ones that NECA had put out as an homage figure.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so they updated the sculpt and brought that out.
We should say that we made a rule that we're not going to pick any NECA figures, because obviously the NECA figures are the best for Arnold. So that would be too easy. So we made a rule for this particular list that no NECA figures. So don't worry, Randy. We love your stuff. It's just all right. Let's jump down to mine. Jingle All the Way Howard Pop from Funko. Okay. So obviously when you make a Pop, there's only so much you can do. They don't have a mouth. Their eyes are circles. But like, this doesn't look anything like Arnold Schwarzenegger to me. This looks more like Peacemaker John Cena or Andy from The Office. This is I don't know what they could have done differently, but they did. This is nothing. This doesn't look like Arnold at all to me.
Gotta load this one up. Sorry. With Pop, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're working the bugs out. This is a new segment. Yeah. So he's holding a candy cane, which I believe he may have done at one point. He's fighting.
Is it a large candy cane?
It is a large candy cane. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So he fought off one of the Santas, the large Santa. Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I can see this. Yeah. He's definitely looks like he's a well put together Jim Halpert.
Yeah. It just doesn't
really exude that Arnold presence.
No,
it doesn't. I mean, that's definitely limited to the Pop.
Or something. I know, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know how you design a Pop and then you must show it to people and they're like, who is this? Like, if you just showed them the head,
that's it.
That's going to be a game show we do. We'll just show you the head and you have to tell us who it is.
The head of the Pop.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
That's actually a really good idea.
Call it Pop. You can tell. Call it Pop Quiz.
Pop quiz. Oh, mark it
Pop
down.
Quiz.
Love it. We're going to partner with Funko. No, they probably wouldn't like that.
There we go.
We're going to do it.
Pop quiz.
All right. Very good. Let's go to our next one from me. Right below that one, I believe is, okay. This is the Diamond Select 18-inch Terminator 2 T800 action figure. So toy companies were sort of figuring out that if they couldn't get the master license, they could do a unique scale and still sell these properties. So Diamond Select started putting out 18-inch action figures, and the face, honestly, not bad, but look how lanky he is. This is ridiculous.
Very, very, very skinny.
Yeah. Yeah, that crotch to waist
18 inches there tall
area.
Wow.
That's
long.
That takes up the majority of the 18 inches right there. It's very strange.
I didn't even know this one existed. Wow.
$100. Yeah, this one. So I found him on a Google image search and it was a prototype. So I thought maybe it didn't actually get produced, but it did, because there's a few of them on eBay.
Okay. Wow.
Not a highly sought after figure. So this is going to be that's so mid for me. I don't need this in my collection, but thank you very much.
No, there are better versions of Arnold out there than this. So that's a mid for me as well.
Let's go to a better one. Dynamite Jack Slater. So
there we go.
For as many action movies that Arnold Schwarzenegger has been a part of, there are only a select few that had toys. Obviously, a lot of those
he never made it into the Predator. He never made it into the Predator line, which is absurd.
Yeah, we never got Predator.
Never got Predator.
But a lot of his movies are they're action movies. They're rated R, PG-13. Even though we did see a lot of toy lines for like Aliens and Batman. These are adult movies that got toy lines. That's just how it sort of worked. This is one of those weird movies. I don't think it was R. It definitely wasn't R. Was it PG-13?
No, it was PG-13. It was PG-13.
Yeah. So still sort of higher, or the more edgier content, but also clearly made for kids to see. So this is like this is a really heady movie. This is like before Inception. This is the movie within the movie where he's a
movie within the movie, but then everything lampoons and makes fun of all the action movie tropes.
I really want to go back and see this. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere, but I want to see Last Action Hero again and see if I appreciate it more.
I don't think it gets its just due. I think it's a great movie. The toy line was exceptional.
Toy line very good. This is you picked the Dynamite Jack Slater. And this is we talked earlier about how there's not like that definitive version. This is pretty close. I mean, this is what he looked like.
It's close. He's got his jacket, he's got his red shirt. The other version that has the red shirt is all torn up. So this is if you want the actual like figure, making him look real nice without having to be too unique, but being able to encompass the full movie. Yeah. This is the figure you want. And he's got a great action feature with a ton of like ammunition to throw.
Mm-hmm.
2 sticks of dynamite, a steel girder, barbells, a siding of brick facing.
Yes. He just like picks up stuff along the way, and then he stops to do some dumbbell curls. He's like, I gotta get a pump. Okay. Did you collect Last Action Hero?
I did. I had most of them. I still do.
No, this is one of the lines like Street Sharks I would see at Caldors, and I would always want them, but I never pulled the trigger. Honestly, if I ever start going back and buying stuff, this would be probably a line I would buy. Like that car, there was a version that came with a car that was very nice.
Yes.
All right.
So I think this was one of those ones where I got the first series, but then bowed out of the second one.
Oh, they made a second series?
They did.
Oh. All right, let's jump down to Kenner Ultimate T2 12-inch. So there's something. So like the regular 6-inch line or 5-inch, however tall the Kenner figures were, pretty good. Likeness is not too bad. There's something about when a company does a 12-inch version of the character, someone else sculpts it, and it just is never quite as good. So this is the 12-inch talking version. He's got bullet holes right in the chest there that expose the speaker for his talk feature, but it almost looks like his rib cage. It looks very bizarre.
Oh, sure.
Just there's just these circles, but at first I was like, oh, are those his bones? But no, it's just this is where the sound comes out. So sculpt on the back of the box, the sculpt looks pretty good, but I think the actual toy, the sculpt is different or something, because it doesn't. The actual toy doesn't look as good as the picture on the back of the box.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't.
That's weird.
It's completely different. Well, that one has the sunglasses removable. He's wearing sunglasses.
I feel like they are, but I think I've seen a picture where they are removed.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Imagine I want to get this figure now and listen to the talking feature.
Yes.
Have you ever gone back and played with any of like the pull string figures? Yes. And how awful they sound, and like you have to like slow the string down to make them sound any bit like what they're originally supposed to sound like? I
have the Hasbro Hulk Hogan where he says like, "Feel the power of the Hulkamaniacs," but it's like he's been possessed by Papa Shango. Yeah, technology.
So this is
for technology to not.
Nostalgia. I'll bid on this for nostalgia.
Oh, really? You're gonna get that? All right. Yeah, I would go that's so mid. Although I would be interested to hear the what it sounds like. Let's continue on the larger scale. We're gonna go for the Terminator 2 3D T800. This is from Kenner. So, do you remember the story behind this? They re-released the movie in 3D, and then Kenner did a line to promote it. Or is this from Universal?
Is that what they did? No, this is from Universal.
Okay,
that's from Universal.
So they
rebranded a lot of the Kenner figures, but then this was one of their big ones.
So if you go to Universal, I don't think is it there anymore? It might not be there anymore.
No, I think the Transformers.
It's a different place though.
Or stage show is there now. Is it?
I don't know.
Then I'm trying to think what it is.
Terminator was more on the left on I don't know. It actually might still be there because it's just like a stage show, but it's in like a studio, like a small.
It's not.
Studio.
Is it Fast and Furious?
No,
is it Fast and Furious now?
Actually, I don't know. I don't know where Fast and Furious is. I wasn't there. I haven't been there since that was there.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, so this is.
I do remember seeing this. I did see Terminator 3D.
So Hasbro or Kenner, it's still at this point. Yeah, Kenner. They started making 12-inch figures for a lot of their figures, a lot of their lines, and this is very reminiscent of the Star Wars 12-inch and any other ones they did. It's like very soft, like oversized hands. They must not have had the Arnold likeness because it looks nothing like Arnold. It's just terrible. Just
all the bodies were all the same.
Yeah, exactly. So they, this is like a little bit like Barbie. Arnold. This is what
he looks a little like Arnold.
Kids. I mean, sure. The fact that he looks as much like Arnold as that Pop looks like Arnold.
Looks like Phil Hartman.
This looks like Phil Hartman.
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know. To say it could look better.
Well, those old Kenner 12-inch figures, they used such soft plastic for the face that it just muted all the sculpt.
That's a fair point. Have you seen the prototypes of those sculpts to see what they should have looked like?
No.
I do think that is to blame for a lot of things. Like there are prototypes of the Jakks early wrestling figures, and they look much better in prototype form. Clearly the plastic or the process muted, like you said, a lot of the features, and just the final product did not look quite as good as the prototype would suggest. So I'm going to go with That's So Mid. Let's finish it up with I think is going to be your number one figure here. This is the coffin.
Yes.
Is that correct?
This is my favorite Terminator figure for some strange reason.
So this is Terminator 3.
Yes.
This is older Arnold.
It is he's a little older. He's not quite too old yet. He's not like we're feeling bad for him. He's like, I'm getting too old for this.
Yeah.
He's not quite there yet.
Age. Yeah.
Yes.
So
this still produced by McFarlane.
They had the
likeness rights. They did. So they produced 4 figures, 1 deluxe set, and a 12-inch talking figure. But this figure, and it still had that static sculpt to it.
Right.
So they could really focus on sculpting in the details. But the movie's not that great. It's okay. But this scene, I love this scene. I loved how he held the coffin up with all the extra ammunition in it. It just it was a good display figure.
Yeah.
If I could bid on this again, I would bid.
It's the movie with the Terminatrix.
It is the movie with the Terminatrix.
Okay. I saw that. I remember that.
Yeah. It's PG-13. Everyone saw it.
I don't think I have this figure, though. I do remember it. This was like a big deal.
It was.
I had the figure. I had the other one that had the gun that like opened up.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That was good too.
Well, yeah. So they made 2 they made 2 Arnolds, and then they made 2 Terminatrix figures, and that was it. And then they made a final battle.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, what was the final battle? I kind of remember that.
The final battle was them at the end, and he's just like completely destroyed, and she's just it's electronic, and there's like a helicopter base to it. $59. That's not bad for this.
Oh no!
I sold mine to my cousin. I'd get this back. This was nice.
Get that back, yeah.
This was a good set. It was a good set,
yeah. All right, so that was the first edition of I gotta remember what this is called. Make a Bid or That's So Mid. All right, so back to the news of the week. That was a long segment. I want to talk about this Star Wars hotel because it's just so ridiculous. So first of all, it's crazy because it's already booked for the first 2 months. So obviously Disney knows what they're doing to a certain degree. Like People might not like it, but bottom line is they're filling the rooms, and that's really all that matters.
Well, it was booked prior to this.
You think people are going to cancel?
People booked it blindly.
Their Rancor?
Yeah, they're going to cancel it like the Rancor.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could. Yeah, but you kind of, I mean, I don't know. You've seen the artwork. You sort of nothing was a surprise in this. I think it's just like maybe you thought there was going to be more than this, but there's not. Like, this is it.
I mean, I think they released some itinerary for the guests, and it's nothing to be excited about.
Yeah.
It's almost, it's like, it's one large choose your own adventure, and then they let you out and you can go explore Hollywood studios. Like, what happens if you're like, I want to get out of here, and like you never return? Like, do they like try to track you down?
Yeah, they hunt you down. You become bounty.
They hunt you down. You leave Galaxy's Edge. They send probe droids after you. Get back here.
Then it gets real. It gets real immersive. Then yeah. Watch out.
Watch out.
It's not it's one of those things where like I was never gonna be able to afford. Even if I had the money, I don't think I could like justify spending.
I wouldn't want to go to this.
Like,
no,
for a family of 4, I think it's like over $7,000 for 2 nights. Oh, that's the other thing. It's 2 nights.
Yes, it's 2 nights.
Yeah, there's just not enough meat on the bone unless you get a bunch of stuff. Like if they gave you like a real lightsaber that you got to keep.
Yeah, truck backing up in the background or something.
That was the microwave. My wife is microwaving water to warm the baby's bottle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I thought you were getting like an Amazon delivery.
Yeah.
Oh my God, live unboxing. I honestly thought the network stuff was going to ship today, and I was like, oh.
You didn't think it was going to ship at all.
I didn't.
You thought it was a scam, but it wasn't. Well, it might be. I don't know. I haven't seen anybody get theirs yet.
See, my box of rocks. This could still be coming.
I got my shipping notice. I mean, that's a good price for just a box. Even if it's box of rocks, that's a pretty good price.
I got the total amount. So I got 10 shipping notices.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm getting.
It's funny. I wonder if they use the same shipper as Hasbro Pulse, because I got my shipping notices for the those like shiny Power Rangers this week, and each one is shipping.
Oh yes.
Independently,
separately,
which is just the stupidest thing.
It is.
I mean, it's great though, because I can use those boxes to ship other stuff, so I don't have any problem with it. It's just
there you go.
From a business making sense point of view, I don't understand how it doesn't make more sense to ship as one thing. But I don't run Hasbro. They know what they're doing, I imagine. We'll see it. We'll find out, I guess. Well, do they know what they're doing though? Because very soon we're gonna have 2 HasLab projects conclude, and they're either going to be successful or they're either going to be cookie monstered and not be successful. Yeah, the big F word, failure. They're both hovering around 60%. So we're recording on Saturday.
I think so. Yeah.
I
bet they make their minimum.
You think so?
I bet here's what I imagine. I bet people will be, and I've been meaning to bring this up with you as well. Mm-hmm. Do you think Hasbro has seen the secondary market get flooded with the exclusive figures for previous HasLabs, and we're like, maybe we just give them something generic so they have no choice but to keep everything and not turn a profit? Like, it doesn't matter to them.
Why would they already
made their purchase.
Why would
wouldn't
they
care, but they shouldn't care. But do you think that factored in at all?
I mean, if anything, they should see that that's how people are treating these and know that that's what people want and give that to them. But they did the exact opposite.
I think the Rancor will fund, but I don't think it will hit any stretch goals.
I just think there's like too much bad will with it.
You think? I think they got something. I know something. There's got to be something up.
Maybe
they'll just extend it like they did with Unicron. They'll be like, here's a Christmas gift for all of you. We're extending the 2 HasLabs by 15 days. Celebrate the holidays with HasLab.
The stupid email subject lines.
Yes.
Yeah. So if the Rancor reaches 9,000, you get the Rancor Keeper.
it's automatically
okay. Yes, but that's it. You get the Rancor and you get the Rancor Keeper.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know that that's enough value for $350. I think people.
No, it's not.
I think people. I don't think people are going to support this until it passes some of those tiers, because then at least you get something more. It's just too much money for what it is right now. Even if like
it is
logistically, realistically, this is how much this will cost. People still have to make decisions and say, I'm going to buy this instead of this. And like, you know, commit money for something that they're not going to see for a year or more.
They're probably going to be like, oh, you watch it like a dramatic shift of the Proton Pack people who are also the Rancor people be like, I got to switch. I got to change it. I got to order the Rancor.
No way.
Instead of my Proton Pack.
I don't think our
tiers start dissolving.
So this is a good question. Where do you think there's more crossover between the G.I. Joe Sky Striker and the Rancor, or the Rancor and the Proton Pack?
I think there's more crossover between the Sky Striker and the Rancor.
Okay. So those two are probably, you know, eating off of each other's plates and like taking potential supporters. The Sky Striker we've not talked about at all. I don't. This is sort of crazy to me. So this is for the little figures, like the classic 3 3/4 figures, right?
Right.
Which is not like something that Hasbro is even currently supporting in any significant way.
No.
So it's like, why would you want this?
It's updated, and then some of the tier goals are O-ring unproduced figures.
I mean,
but still, yeah,
cool. But it's not
cool
a current
enough
thing.
It's not a current thing.
It's so bizarre to me. Like this was. I still think
the Black Series collector is, and you know, you see more of like the 1/12 scale collector doing the action figure photography, or they're keeping these in the packages. But the Rancor doesn't scale with a lot of that stuff, because if you're going to do action figure photography with it, you're going to have to build gigantic displays.
Well, you get that backdrop
in order to accommodate the the backdrop fits into that. Yeah, whatever. It's going to be like me in the basement with my piles of sand doing Tatooine.
I mean, that was actually good.
That was fun.
People have been arguing that the Rancor is like too specific to his scene, and it's not like as fun as a ship would be, because a ship you can have a lot of characters interact with it, and this is really just Luke and just the Gamorrean Guard, and that's fair. It is sort of I like the creatures a lot. That's like one of my favorite parts of the Star Wars movies,
because they're all puppets. Jedi. We all know how much you like puppets.
I do love puppets. So like if it was between this and a ship, I would support this, but I'm not supporting this. So it didn't do the job it needed to do to like push the like, casual fans over the edge.
Right.
So
right.
It was I mean, it may, like we said, it may not be a failure in terms of getting funded. It may still get funded, but it should have been a bigger deal. And the fact that it wasn't, like, they really need to like self-reflect and see what they could have done differently. Because
I haven't backed it yet.
Oh, you haven't backed it yet?
No.
You thinking about it?
No.
Oh, you don't want to do it?
I don't think I need it.
You definitely don't need it.
It's too big.
It's too big.
It's too big. I've got Rancors. I'm looking at one right now.
I know, that's the thing. Like they have perfectly serviceable Rancors. They're just smaller. But like, who cares? Like, use your imagination.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Use some false perspective. You know.
Right. Yeah. It
Elf it.
Right, an Elf. The that movies that made us on Elf was pretty good.
It was.
The Force.
You had no idea that it was all practical like that.
No, I know. And like completely unnecessary. Like, just didn't need to do it that way. They just wanted to. I thought it was interesting that they like basically ripped off the Rankin Bass stuff, but then like, and that was a storyline throughout the documentary. But then at the end, they're like, yeah, it was just fine. Like, what happened? Did they pay off Rankin Bass or something? Like, why was it fine? Because they basically admitted that they were very inspired by those designs.
Sure.
So this, if you haven't supported these yet, and you want to, make sure you do. It sounds like Bill's not going to support it. And then those will be done. We'll talk about it next week. The Proton Pack will almost be done. I think it has 8 days left as of today. So next Sunday, that will be complete. It's currently hovering right around 13,000, which is the tier for the Spangler notebook, which is the least exciting tier. But then if it gets to 15, it gets the stand, which is something I really want, because I want to be able to put this on the ground and not just have it on the ground. So
you won't you have to go out and buy a guitar stand for it. You'll have your stand already.
I have to be really creative. Maybe I'll get some fishing wire or something. But no, I want this. I think I think it's gonna happen. I'm not worried about that one.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be.
No, I'm not worried. Nothing worries me since. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we talked a lot about Arnold Schwarzenegger this week. Anything else we need to cover before we wrap up today's show?
I can't think of anything.
All right, very good. Well, you know what we say. We don't want to grow up, but we already did. Have a great week, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Yeah, I don't think it's going to get funded, because what is going to change? People are just going to be like, fine. Like,
right. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen.